And away we go. Hubert 0987. Flop 3434. Both are going to make their way through Sirius Station to go pay Ridley a visit. Both of them repeatedly aiming angled up and down. Each aiming or unaiming up or down pushes Samus forward an extra pixel. Results in a little bit more speed. Has shown up to take the baby Metroid away. Take 5 hits from Ridley's tail to advance the plot and sing the escape timer. Let's see what types of times show up on that. Through the tile and steam puff room. For mode 7 to do its thing. 4 for flop. Bert. And both will be on their way to Zeus for the main part of what's going on with the theft of that baby Metroid. They have landed on the planet and will make their way in. There's a couple items that are needed to unlock everything else. And the first pack of missiles are all the way down in Blue Brinstar. So crosses the pits, falls into one of them though, doing some gap skips to go along there. Hubert was doing was down while running over a short 2-block wide gap between 2 platforms. Aiming down compresses Samus's hitbox, and Samus moves over the other side before falling far enough front edge. Now both are going to reach the first missile pack. It is now awoken. But both can back upwards and fight Bomb Terizo back across the pit room and up the climb. Flop ends up in one of the pits. There's gap skips again. Doing the wall jump strat for climb. So also. And Flap dealing with the top space pirate with a hero shot. Shot up towards the space pirate so that the shot hits before it goes far enough off screen to despawn. Towards Bonterizo's room. behind. Ooh, Hubert really close to I'll not hit the door. Good, because farm another one from the enemies. So wakes up. Flap gets Bounterizo against the wall. Pulls, leaves a missile drop in the air, like Hubert has just done too. Allow very quick fights for and with the help of the bombs the Bounterizo had, can now go to Green Brinstar. E-tank at the bottom. There's some space pirates here. Flap's going to come. So is Hubert. Is to have 5 missiles. It's needed to open up the early supers door that's coming up. Both are on the elevator down to Green Brinstar. Jumps through the door in order to do a mock ball across the bridge. Sequence breaks to this pack of super missiles that normally would require Speed Booster to get. It's the fight against Spore Spawn, the second mini-boss in the game. Categories of the fight are all mini-bosses, RTA, and 100% map. Mock ball through the room before Big Pink. Down to get the charge beam. Missile pack right outside of that. Hubert downbacks through a on the way down. A particular area of movement that can be convenient in specific spots like that. Both now have charge beam and head down Green Hill Zone. Flop got a mock ball down and was able to bounce it to keep her step. Crosses the bridge and reaches Red Tower, where both of our runners have gone downward. Of both using the traditional Kraid first route. Both of them will be headed to go get the Varia suit. Whole exploration of Fair. Ooh, neither of them make their jump directly across and have to go onto the step that's part of the way down. In Kraid's lair now. Kraid room. Hubert one room behind. Will conveniently drop supers to Flop's super missiles and Hubert's trades room, where hopefully we will be seeing trade quick kills. Flop has it. Hubert and two quick grabs of the Varia suit. Their supers. One mini Kraid the other way. And gets the Kraid energy tank. That's where Hubert's going to be going too. Flop. The super block with the super from the other side and jumping across to get to the Norfair elevator, as Hubert is about to also do. And both will go down and get high jump boots and an E-tank. We'll be getting the E-tank on the way out. Hubert tried to enemy, but on the way out, grabbing the E-tank after also grabbing the missiles. Hubert right behind, grabbing the missiles also. Begins his journey through the heated rooms. Flop getting a mock ball through the first part of Lava Ball room. Room up just a little bit extra. Bubble Mountain. Hubert only 2 rooms away though. Flop at the top of Bubble Mountain. The speed booster farming spot and onto the speed booster running path. Go up with the pseudo screw to the cack attack at the top, not to be a problem. We'll hit speed booster. We'll run down there. And a high five along the path. Flop jumps through the door to they're centered on screen and heads out. Hubert will be doing that in one more door transition. Flop will head down to Wave Beam. Missiles on that red door to conserve supers. blue gate doesn't seem to want to open for Hubert. There the gate goes. Heads out as Hubert heads into the wave beam room. Flop returns to Bubble Mountain. Get ready to leave Upper Inferno that did, and with Fantoon and the rest of what's in the wrecked ship. The magic of Speed Booster. Ready to go through the first 3 heated rooms again. And Flop heads up to Star to get ready for Alpha Spark. Be doing 2. Both leaving Ice Beam for air to Lower Norfair. This likely means that we'll be X-factoring on Fantoon. Begins to climb up Red Tower. Ooh, the enemy's blocking Flop's upward shots, though. Allows Hubert to those damage boosts. Overtakes Flop. Nice damage boosts across to the power bombs. And both lay a power bomb to pre-open the yellow door. Prevent them from lay a power bomb in that room on the way back down to Meridia. Towards the door, in that case, they would have to wait for the power bomb to explode like they have to do now. For the same reason, they're laying that power bomb to pre-open the yellow door that goes the other way. Charges a spark. Looks like Hubert is sparking across the moat. The missile pack on the way over. Also sparking across the moat, but high enough to not get the missile. Two ocean sparks. Let that spark off a little bit higher to overhang a little bit before the door and save some health. But that does cost a little bit of time. Both are one door transition away from the second major boss fight, Fantoon. We will see what patterns they get. Probably the largest RNG impact in the game. Power bombs. Where that Both get slow patterns. Doesn't land all particles of that X Factor, though. Flop gets that X Factor right on target. Being out of power bombs switches to missiles. Flop lands another X Factor, killing Fantoon. Has Fantoon down also. Let's Flop a little bit ahead now. And both will grab on the left side of the main path of the wrecked ship. Moving on their way to and from it. Much one item fanfare duration separates them. And Flop reaches Attic with power bombs selected. The atomic, ooh, gets hit by the spark though. Well, Flop gets a spark charge and ooh, misses an enemy with it though. And that will put them both exiting Attic. This has gotten a lot closer. Where it will farm a little bit of health. He isn't really that much to go through this with. Crosses the spikes in the bowling room. So does Hubert. The bowling to Rizzo. A few seconds to relax, catch up on their chat, their social media of choice. Doing all the work for now. Flop will grab Gravity Suit, as will Hubert. Again, all damage they take, and letting them move through liquids as though they're not there. Through that, they can head back down to Meridia. Snakes and shrimp await. Flop begins heading out of Nord. A damage boost in Hellway lets Hubert catch up. Very close sync head into the main part of Red Tower. Last through this to the Meridia tube. Pre-morphing so they can immediately lay that power bomb as they get into the room. Yes, breaks of the Meridia tube. And Hubert got the tight jump through the fish tank. Mountain. Through the next room and into Aqueduct. One more door and they fight the next mini boss, Batoon. Hubert's using all super missiles. Is preparing an X Factor. Will land on Batoon right as Batoon spawns. Percent of Batoon's health, shortening the fight by a good amount. Having to finish Batoon off with charge shots. Those does half of what a super missile would do. Doesn't quite make it into the passageway to the Batoon E-Tank. And Flop runs into pre-Happy Room, but lets the spark off a little bit quickly relative to the door opening and hits the door. Charge into the room. Full Happy. Done. Hubert ahead by the length of the precious room. But both Aegon fight. Selects power bombs. Probably going to attempt to do the X Factor plus Shine Spark opener. Barking through Dragon. Here's the X Factor. The Spark. Letting Flop get a little bit more damage into Dragon early. The sync on that Spark, though. And one more charge shot. Oh, Hubert takes some chain damage from Dragon. The blue suit. Because he needed to farm that health due to it being so low. Or iteration of chain damage, and Hubert would have been dead. Both of them really, really close again. Taffies because no blue suits, but both will make their way with the help of Space Jump. Keeping up the sync. into Cacatac Alley. A great place to... That does take extra time. That unfortunately breaks the sync. Room apart now. Plasma beam. Hubert up there. Flop just about up there too. Some regular missiles to efficiently deal with the pancakes. Farms the little egg things. And overlapping item fanfares for plasma beam. This is a major beam upgrade. Damage it does and letting it cut right through enemies. The pile of there is meant to demonstrate that. One door transition separates them towards the high-speed tunnel. Lower Meridia and the Brinstar and, well, one room of Brinstar before another elevator down into Norfair. Building up some speed to your way nicely through that room. And Hubert reaches the elevator seconds before Flop does. And both will now be grabbing Ice Beam. Hubert's gonna space jump through that room, so is Flop. Space jumps got cut off early by an overhang, though. We've got overlapping item fanfares. It's still that close. Be interesting to see what routes we see towards the lower Norfair entrance. Selecting power bombs, I think Hubert's going to be taking the lower route. Take the upper route. We'll see as they converge. Or the lava pit. With speed boosting through. Uses speed echoes that he really wanted to keep through the next room. We're a little bit behind. Entering the same room. Looks like Flop ends up a little bit ahead. Still ended up really close. A pseudo screw to not have to worry about the fireballs. Both through the lava. They're into lower Norfair. We're coming up to a place of possible significant divergence of amount of time, and that is whether fast pillars happen. Is not going for it and is just going to use power bombs. But Hubert is going to go for it. Charge wasn't quite there. And Hubert gets it. A lot of the way up to flop by doing so. Room in the game. Both power bombing their way through that ceiling box. And flap through worst room first. Space jumping through amphitheater to not fall all the way down because there's lava, not lava, acid down there. Space pirates and flop heads downward. 2 power bombs. Flop is going to need to use a bomb spread here to efficiently deal with those blocks there to not a power bomb unnecessarily. Should require the power bombs of shame. And that would be really bad. The side hopper section of Wasteland through the spike platforms. Hubert just about there too. Dealing with the metal pirates one by one. Got the hit twice. Very nice. Very nice metal pirates for flop. 1 down. Flop enters the Ridley fight to see whether Ridley that are easily dealt with. Both of them are gonna are necessary 20 charge shots into Ridley. Going some now exactly what both of them want due to the safe spot on the left side when Ridley pogos from right to left. Ridley continues doing that pattern. You can damaging Ridley. As Ridley dead, Hubert almost does. And flop will begin heading out of long trek back from Ridley's room. He's going to grab Ridley's E-tank though. It's a good amount of time, but the game a lot safer. To Wasteland. Through the metal pirates. Ooh, flop took a few hits from the key hunters, though. Hubert might have been trying to do the speedball there. That's mockballing with speed echoes, that booster effect in ball form. Flop's a few rooms ahead. past the key hunters. Flop headed for the Three Musketeers. 1 hitboxes through 2. I think I saw a hit from that third one. A lot of hitboxing through key hunters. And Flop is out of Lower Norfair. Interesting upward hitbox attempt for Hubert, which is the Lower Norfair exit 2. Heads through the tunnel to Business Center to head out of Norfair. Few rooms back. And Flop enters Meridia to get to the top of Red Tower. Brings up an important question. Will the fate of the Ponk/Sephi fish be? Leaves it there. Hubert in fish tank. Way. Flop reaches the top of Red Tower and takes that elevator up. Froze the fish, but it looks like at once the fish froze but stayed there. Give the fish an opportunity to cool off. And Flop past the ship, headed towards Terminator, away from the entrance to Torian. Bert will get the speed boost space jumps through the bomb blocks, and he does. That'll help him catch up a little bit. Reaches the statue room. Hubert enters room 2 rooms before. Simultaneous statue room cutscenes. What could happen in Torian? This cutscene gives the runners another chance to catch up on chat or on whatever else they might need to catch up on. And Flop will tour in, start to deal with the Metroid rooms. Of similar amounts of health and ammo. Could come down to how good the Metroid rooms go, whether one might get baby skip and the other might not, how Mother Brain goes. The second Metroid room, Hubert almost through the first one. again in adjacent rooms. Grouping the Metroids that are in that final room. Hubert going back for an extra super missile. With the side hoppers. Grouping the final set of Metroids up. And Flop reaches Metroid Room 5. It's only one Metroid, but it's a lot larger, despite it being the baby. Up gets grabbed, though. Ends facing forward. From skipping part of the animation, but not look back. Or it can be. So. Just a little bit of extra time. And Flop through the eye door. We're on the way there. Flop ready with... Gets it right away. Because didn't really want Flop to get through that last morph passage towards where Mother Brain is. Is Zeb skip for Hubert. One, ready to start Mother Brain 2. Hubert reaches that point even before Flop's Mother Brain has finished the cutscene for transitioning to Phase 2. Begins shooting the necessary 20 shots. Hubert. That was a little close on that catch-up that Flop got. Ooh, that onion ring catch-up combo. Both of them get through. Wait through the... cutscene between 2 and 3, where the Metroid while we're waiting for this cutscene, this would be a good time to make sure that you follow the runners. They're great runners and put on a wonderful race for us so far. All that we have left is Mother Brain 3 and the escape. And Flop begins Mother Brain 3. Corner. A lot of extra lag because the hyper beam shots are on the screen for longer. And Hubert also has Mother Brain 3 down. Overlapping cutscenes. Only a few seconds separate them. And something happening on the escape. Both through room 1, okay. Separated by the duration of room 2. Flop fell at the beginning. That gives Hubert a chance to catch up a little bit, but Hubert seems to have fallen in the same way. That puts them so very close. Simultaneously going through the door transition out of the escape. Let's climb Sparks. The parlor they go. Falls behind because it is so close, although Flop does get a hyper beam shot into the passage down to them. Wins the race with an official SRL time of 52 minutes and 3 seconds, closely followed by Flop, finishing in second with an official SRL time of 52 minutes and 8 seconds. Only a 5-second difference. Hey. What a race that was. Definitely be sure that you follow the runners. This has been Actually, let me see how that stacks up to the closest races that have occurred so far in the tournament. According to Hubert in the Speed Gaming chat, that was a PB, so congratulations. Ah, yes. Closest races that have occurred in this tournament. This will be the second closest race so far in this tournament. It would be Shiny Zenny versus Heiser, which was a tie. Close enough. Where was the finish? Overlapping credits. About at the Deer Force moment. Deer Force for Hubert. Deer Force for Flop. And a difference of 2% in the item collection. More items. Deer Force for Hubert. Deer Force for Flop. How about that closeness of the race?
God. I can definitely tell I'm sweating a little bit. I wasn't watching, but that was a bit of a scare about halfway through there. Are we getting like echo or something? I can just boop.
And
Rip ears.
a difference of 2%
sorry.
in the item collection. More items. Deer Force for Hubert. Deer Force for Flop.
But yeah, are
How
we
about that
waiting for Flop?
closeness of the race?
God.
He doesn't see Flop
I
say
can definitely tell I'm
anything.
sweating a little bit. I wasn't watching, but I think that's him. That was a bit of a scare about halfway through there. Are we getting like echo or something? Holy moly. I can just boop myself over it.
And
Rip ears?
a difference of
Yeah, I don't know
2%
how
in
loud
the
I am.
item
That's the
collection.
problem. If I'm like super loud, I'm sorry.
Items. Deer Force for Hubert. Deer Force for Flop. There were like Flop's gonna be joining us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's joining in a second. But geez, I was plus 10 at Wave, then down to 21 at Fantoon.
There were a few. There were a few places where you and Flop drifted somewhat farther apart, but then close again.
I saw. We were basically tied coming into Parlor.
My escapes are always traditionally horrible, so I didn't really expect anything less after I was leaving.
True, yeah. Same here. I like got hit by Steam 4 times in landing site.
Oh, I messed up the Shine Spark. I stopped too early. I got hit by a few pirates on the way up. I didn't completely go all the way over on the hallway and ran halfway back. And then in the parlor, I missed 2 jumps in a row. My early game was pretty good, though. Like
yeah, I saw.
At the crate, I was really doing well. After that, it was all garbage. Yes, sir.
You watching to see how close the race was throughout it?
No. I told Hubert at the beginning I wasn't going to watch it. I don't watch it. I go for PBs no matter what. I was actually close to my PB, so I knew Hubert had PB'd.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't watch it at all.
What's your PB at right now?
It's I think it's a 51-53, I think. 51-53 or 51-52.
All right. Not bad.
So I was actually on PB pace for most of it, and then...
Yeah, I could tell I was on PB pace, even though I was trying to stop that by comparing against best splits. But that didn't really work out too well, because I could tell.
I just treat this like a regular run. I mean, the safety strats or whatever. I mean, my first race, I died to Fantoon, and I started over and went all the way through the thing again. And then as soon as my opponent had saved, I just knew it was pretty much over. Because obviously he knew I had died.
Congrats on the PB, by the way.
Thank you.
I don't even know what my official time really was, because I know I screwed up the
It
I
was like
screwed up the done, and I screwed up my splits went forever, so.
I think it was like 07 or 08. So not a bad run at all.
Yeah. I wish I could have had a few of those rooms back, I'll tell you that. There was a lot of movement mistakes from... The more I practice from Phantoon to Dragon, the worse I get.
Yeah, that's why I did like one practice run where I died at Dragon, and I was like, alright, I'm ready.
You must have been feeling pretty good. Like I said, I knew I was on PB pace. I had no idea if you were how you're gonna do. You must have been feeling pretty nice cutting through all that. Because you also got 2 more, you got the extra missiles and the extra E-tank.
Yeah.
So right there, just in fanfares, that's 14 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Not including the transitions to Ridley. So that's what,
I would have lost
seconds you
a
lost.
lot. Yeah, I would have lost a lot more time at the end of Ridley, just because I didn't have enough health to where I felt safe to just continue through Lower Norfair.
Oh, I was going for it, and it didn't matter. I've lost so many runs to 3 Musketeers, it's not even funny. But it is interesting, though, that we get grouped up together, considering we used to run like 2 years ago, and now we're back.
Yeah, pretty
I don't
much.
know why I signed up for this. It's been 2 years since I ran this game, and then I started doing it about a month ago.
Uh-huh.
There have been definitely some interesting groupings.
Agreed.
Yeah, so... But thank you for commentating, Stump. I haven't heard it, but I'm sure it is delightful.
I agree.
Not everyone wants to volunteer. A bunch of scrubs like us play.
Alright, any final thoughts?
I hope I can cut off 2 minutes and maybe get sub 50. That'd be cool. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be.
Well,
Right.
any finished run's a good run, so.
Agreed.
As far as I'm concerned, just don't die
Especially
to Phantom.
us.
Yeah. But, well, good night, everybody.